A massive thank you to Junkie, Scoop, Valdemar, Gopher, and TT Gameplay for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video. But today we're here back with round 6 of Season 6 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode, where yesterday, we're back once more. We've had plenty of My Team. We've been smashing through Season 6. Kind of weird to think we're almost halfway through this championship. But of course, if you missed out on the video that went live Monday from Monaco, I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. Things getting very spicy in the championship, and that is your warning for spoilers before we dive into this one today. But of course as well, a massive thank you to all of you for all the continued support. We're now nearing in on 38,000 subscribers, of course, at the time of recording this. If you're not already, please do get yourself subscribed as well. You know, trying to hit 40k over the next couple of months before, 50k, the big goal for 2022 as well there. But yeah, championship-wise though, after the Monaco Grand Prix, 8 points separate the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship. And yeah, Yuki Tsunoda is not far away either. So arguably a 5-way scrap in the championship at the moment. We still lead the way, 3 points ahead of Max Verstappen there, who's now tied with Pierre Gasly after finally getting his first win of the season on the board. Yes, I apologise, I'd completely forgot about Monza 2020 there. So yeah, Pierre Gasly now with 2 race victories in his F1 career. Sergio Perez still in 4th place there, like I said, ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Constructors-wise, just 8 points clear of Red Bull as well as we head into round 6 of the year. But we went from a street track, we're heading to another street track. Baku, though, has often been a track that's gone quite well for us on F1 2021. We took our very first pole in this series here, of course, last season. Let's get into it this weekend. We're around in the final couple of corners then here Friday from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Just got to try and keep it nice and tidy. We're a little bit down, actually, on the fuel simulation run, but I'm hoping if we can try and lean on the throttle, we can try and get it back. No, I think I've leaned a bit too much there. Yeah, just going to miss out. We've got one more chance at this. Actually struggled quite badly with this challenge so far. That's not going to help us. To be honest, I'm not really too sure why I kept doing this practice program. We definitely don't need the R&D points at the moment, but I sort of just got very close to it and wanted to get it done. We're just going to dip into the red, but half second up as we come towards the line. If we just go like that, that's going to be a nice green score even. I absolutely love it round here when the AI don't decide to get out of the way as you're trying to get through important parts of the lap. Luckily we're in the purple, so this should still be a very easy score. And what sort of top speed we can get inside the slipstream of Antonio Giovinazzi in front of us. I'm worried we're actually going to do this a bit too early, but we may as well just do a little bit of experimentation. Activate the DRS there, 218, 217 miles an hour as we fly past Gio. He's not slow though. Very good job indeed. Happy with that though. We'll just talk over Jeff. Let's get into qualifying. The 2022 F1 season kicks off in just a couple of weeks' time, and now with all the car reveals out the way, we have got official merch drops from basically every F1 team. Available now, the Aston Martin 2022 range, as well as the all-new Williams pack, and then of course the Mercedes 2022 range drop has also been released. I'm definitely going to be copping myself some George Russell merch as well. But yeah, links down below. There is merch available for every team, and of course, if you use the links, you massively help support the channel. Well, apparently there was a risk of rain here for qualifying in Baku, but I mean, looking at the skies, beautiful blue skies all around the Azerbaijan city circuit. Fingers crossed we can try and get a good qualifying lap in. As always, Q2. Going to go out first of all on a set of mediums there, as that was a really nice line through turn 1. Super satisfying when you get a lot of this track hooked up, especially the first part of the lap, but still very difficult to do so. This Ferrari, though, a power unit, chucks out a lot of ponies at the high end. Pierre just sets fastest lap there, down on a 1:36.0, but as we head out through the final couple of corners, let's just see what sort of time we're going to be able to set then on this set of medium tyres there. Back end just getting a little bit squirrely out through the final corner, but up towards start-finish line then. Huge run, watch the clock tick by. And yeah, I think we want to be down in towards the 36s, which is going to be a 36 flat. We go quicker than Pierre. Both of us on mediums. That might be good enough to see us both into Q3 on medium tyres there, as Aitken goes 4th. Clearly there's not much delta between the two sets. Well, there we go then, the end of Q2, and Pierre Gasly fastest there on a 35.8 ahead of both Red Bulls, and then, yeah, we do make it through on that set of mediums ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. No major surprises there. I guess Bottas out in Q2 is probably the big one, and yeah, Lando Norris P6 in his AlphaTauri there. That's pretty good going by them. But yeah, we have now got a really good chance of trying to put this thing on pole position here, back-to-back seasons. The car around here is fast. Ferrari have brought upgrades this weekend, and they appear to be working. Right, well, making it into Q3 on that set of mediums then has certainly opened up the opportunity for us to do a couple of extra qualifying laps if we need, but fingers crossed, yeah, I mean, we've definitely got the pace to be down towards the mid to low 35s. Gasly's going to be there, probably, I'd hope he can find a little bit more time and get a bit closer as well, but let's just wait and see then. First lap here in Q3, can we make it back-to-back poles here in Baku? Like I said, it's certainly a track that suits my style as well as the car. And yeah, often we go really well here until the final lap. But of course, last season, that mega 3-wide drag race towards the line between myself, Lando, of course, back then, and Sergio Perez was one for the ages. Going to find a couple of corners, though, to finish off our first qualifying run. A couple of small mistakes there as Lando Norris, look at that, in the AlphaTauri going fastest there on a 35.7. Verstappen immediately ruins that party, it must be said, down onto 35.6. So clearly the pace for the AI is coming then around this venue. But what are we going to be able to do on our first timed run there? Is it going to be fastest? No, it's not. Only a 35.9. But like I said, definitely some time left on the table. Yeah, let's get back out there.
Less than a...
Oh, Lando Norris out of qualifying here in Baku as Gasly now goes even faster. But I've left it awfully tight towards the end of this qualifying session. Will we be able to get another lap in? I'm not sure we will. I think we might just have bottled this here as Yuki Tsunoda now goes fastest, and I've completely thrown it away. I can't believe I've misjudged qualifying like that. A golden opportunity to take pole here in Baku. Gone in the wind.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Perez, Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
I cannot believe I've just done that at the end of qualifying here in Baku. Sort of thought, yeah, set the first time, didn't think much of it, tried to go out right towards the end of the session there so we didn't get held up by the AI, but just misjudging it by, what, 2 seconds at the very most there. But it is Perez, therefore, that takes pole here in Baku ahead of Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly, so that's rather interesting to see. But we're going to be starting down in P8 then. But like I said, we've got good pace in the car. We can definitely try and put this thing towards the front of the field there. I cannot believe we messed that up. But of course, points are awarded on Sunday. Let's dive in here to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. The Baku City Circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Now, we probably ought to start by discussing Pierre Gasly. That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Gasly, Verstappen, Jack Aitken and Norris, Ricciardo, Mr. Monaco, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, Bottas, Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi and Islet, Joe, Russell, Christian Lundgaard and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, and Robert Schwartzman. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and starting P8 on the mediums might not be the end of the world here, but definitely want to try and stretch out this stint as best as possible here. Might be a medium soft race here today, normally the one stop. If you can do medium to soft is pretty good, but it's going to be a stretch, I think, around this circuit today. I think the key is just going to be keep it clean and tidy early on, and then, yeah, if we got a safety car later on in the day, you know, I think you're as likely to get a podium from the 4th row around Baku as you are starting on the front row here. We're on the 4th row. Of course, Ricciardo won this race from 10th back in 2017 as well there. So let's just wait and see as to what we can achieve here today. Ready on the grid then. Round 6 of the campaign. 5 red lights. And it's going to be lights out and away we go. Was never going to get a good start on the mediums, but actually, so you head down. Oh, we've got a big send coming in from, of course, it's Antonio Giovinazzi there. Likes to go for those on F1 2021. Is he still doing it? How is the Italian just never seems to give a damn when he sends it down in towards Stel 1 there? But Giovinazzi straight up into the points off the start of the Grand Prix. Not too sure if they've been given the same Ferrari upgrades we have coming into this weekend there. But it seems like not too many dramatics towards the front of the field there. Looks to be that the top 3 are in the order that they started, but yeah, a lot of drama going on there. Antonio Giovinazzi is always being the instigator of that. You know, he's very much all the heroics in towards T1. But yeah, we just got to try and get these tyres up to temperature. Like I said, feel like this car around here works as a really good combo for a lot of the race, as long as I don't do anything stupid. You know, I'm often the biggest sort of letdown in this car. More often than not, I think I won't let the car down rather than the other way round. But yeah, anyway, heading out onto the old part of the circuit then here on lap 1. Yeah, tyres feeling pretty good, getting them up to temperature slowly but surely. Oh, big lock up there though, lucky to get that one slowed down. So we head down the hill. Yeah, have to wait and see as to how things unfold over these first few laps there, because again, I think sticking in the DRS is going to be critical today. You know, we probably won't have much pace on a lot of these guys early on there as we get a bit out of shape out through the final corner, all the fuel in the car, everything like that. But let's just keep our head down, focus. 26 laps today, anything can happen here in Baku, but Checo Perez leads the way at the end of lap 1. We're trying to stick close to the rear of Daniel Ricciardo as we head out the final corner on lap 2. Yeah, these Ferrari upgrades really are giving us just that little bit of extra oomph that we need right at the top end there. There we go, Gasly new fastest lap. We go marginally slower than our teammate.
When within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But when we consider the fact we're on medium tyres in comparison to Pierre's softs, that's pretty reassuring early on here. Don't think the AI really going to try and push their rubber too hard early on, but yeah, I think us on the 2-stop, we can kind of just afford to push on this set, you know, maybe do 11, 12 laps and then split the second and third stint of the Grand Prix straight down the middle. Lots of decisions to be made here in Baku. Right, DRS now activated as we try and close in on Daniel Ricciardo, gaining 221 miles an hour.
Fuel at this rate, then we won't have enough to reach the end of the race.
Oh, Jeff, behave, mate. But yeah, really getting all towards the back of Danny Rick. So clearly those soft tyres not lasting as well for the AI as they'd hope. Just very difficult to switch on, I find, around here when you've got a full tank of fuel in the car. There is Leclerc and Giovinazzi now trading places behind. Oh, Ricciardo, we showed the nose there. I wasn't actually ever planning on going for a move, but he kind of jumped out of the way in towards the braking zone. And we've just dive-bombed Mr. Dive-Bomb himself there, completely accidentally, but it is now P7. We need to push to try and get into the DRS of our former teammate Lando. Trying to roll on the power as we head down the hill. So we're back to start lap 6 then of this GP. Intrigued to see when we're going to start seeing our first pitters here, because the pace here is definitely, I feel, at the moment, heading in towards our favour. But as we head out the final corner, Lando still going to have the DRS of fellow Brit Jack Aitken here. 3 Brits line astern at the moment. As soon as I say that about potentially pitting, looks like Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen are all into the box. So we're going to be up now into P3 of the Grand Prix. And yeah, that probably couldn't have come at much more of a perfect time for me, as this might leave Jack Aitken a bit vulnerable out of turn 2. Tsunoda, yeah, into the pits as well there. Mercedes really looking to try and get their car back in towards winning ways at the moment. It's to the outside of Jack Aitken we go. Later on the brakes as well, they're just so much more confident on the rubber. Maybe a bit unjust confidence there as we almost put it in the wall on the exit. As we, again, almost put it in the wall on the exit. Keep it in line, keep it in check, Matt. Still a long old way to go today. Well, now we're in pursuit of Sergio Perez there, who's already built himself up a little bit of a buffer in this Grand Prix, but he's going to come in at the end of lap 6. So we are going to get a few laps then with some clear air ahead of us. I think if we can make it to about lap 12, lap 13, that would be rather good. But yeah, now we've got to wait, make sure we don't get a safety car or anything like that there, as Perez appears to be stopping as well then. Callum Ilott now over to P2 of the Grand Prix in his Williams. This isn't the Williams RTG. What's Callum doing up there?
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Team recommending new strat. They want me to do soft, medium, soft, medium even. Yeah, definitely don't want to be doing that today. We'll stick to all double softs there as the team want us to get to the end of lap 13. Yeah, we should be good doing the strat I wanted to here. Perez, yeah, 14 seconds back. Gasly, 18 seconds back. So Perez has definitely built himself up a buffer early on. Had a golden opportunity last year to win the race, but unfortunately just missed out in the drag race to the line. Can Checo try and get his first win of the season on the board and really launch himself into championship contention? That might stay otherwise, though.
Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
New fastest lap of the day. That really does set a precedence for everyone else in this one. We are down, but not out.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10.
There we go. Sergio just now starting to reel in the gap the other way again, but half second a lap I'm not going to worry about too much at the moment. Worried, however, that Gasly's dropping back a lot of time. I fear our teammate might have picked up some damage here, and in the Constructors' Championship, as tight as it is, we do not want things like that happening all too often. End of lap 11, and gap seems to have stabilised to Perez and Gasly behind us there, so maybe Pierre doesn't have damage. But Lando Norris now up at a fifth place even of the Grand Prix, ahead of Max Verstappen. This has often been a bogey track for Max, in real life and on F1 2021, it must be said. But yeah, really just not feeling it today, as he's been jumped by Lando in the sister car. But yeah, we just got to try and focus on Sergio, though, who is really looking like our main competition today.
In this lap, push now.
Right, well, feel these tyres have hung on pretty well up to now in the day, but team want us to box the end of this one, and yeah, we do really want to try and utilise a double set of softs between now and the end of the Grand Prix.
Back by about 3/10 a lap.
Okay, that's reassuring to hear then, so maybe Perez just struggling slightly on those mediums at the moment. We're probably going to come back out. I want to try and see if we can come out between sort of that battle that seems to be still going on between Lando and Max, and then of course Tsunoda and our teammate just in front of them. Yeah, if we can come out there, that would be really good in this
You might
GP.
want to start being a little more conservative with your fuel. We may not finish at this rate of usage.
You might want to start minding your own business, Jeff. I think we're fine on fuel. I'm just getting really annoyed with that. Surely the game can learn. And then heading out the final corner then, up towards the pit lane. Let's just see if we can try and stay ahead of Max Verstappen in this GP there. Seems this time around he's been able to pull out a little bit of a gap over Lando, but brave into the pit lane. Make sure we don't speed though. There we go, beautifully slowed down into the pits. Yeah, going on to a new set of the soft compound tyres there. Not too sure if we got 1 or 2. I have also made sure the front wing change is set to no, just because I know what this game can be like at the best of times there. But yeah, anyway, down in the pit lane then, 3.1 second stop. This might work out really well, actually. So we try not to get chucked out of the pit lane. We've come out ahead of our teammate Pierre Gasly here now in this GP. 5 seconds back from Sergio Perez. Of course, got cold rubber just for a couple of laps. But we've overcut even, I should say, massively in this GP there. There seems to be such a gaggle of cars fighting over P5 there. This has worked wonders for us. Sergio Perez even just 4 seconds up the road as well. Surely we're going to have the tyre and pace advantage between now and the end. I said after qualifying we had good pace in the car, but was not expecting to come out here. Or trying to utilise the best of the grip that these soft tyres have got nice and early on in this stint. Of course, not worrying about trying to stretch the tyres out in any length in this Grand Prix. We've actually done a pretty safe strategy this weekend, but we're going to now be inside the DRS of Sergio Perez just in front of us there. Don't want to completely run out of battery before we get up towards the start-finish line, and just gaining on the Red Bull. Surely this is fastest 2 seconds!
We are critical on fuel, probably a lap or so short. We don't need to
Jeff
risk a DNF
is
chasing
such a
Red
downer.
Bulls, so think about starting to conserve fuel, maybe lifting earlier into the corners.
We're leading our teammate by 5.3 seconds.
We just set new fast lap of the Grand Prix. We're just about to romp around the outside of Sergio Perez as well there, and Jeff is too worried about the little things in this Grand Prix. Back into the lead we go here in Baku, and this is shaping up to, well, hopefully, as long as we don't do anything stupid, could we be on for just our second win of the year. Bahrain feels a very, very long time ago, it must be said. There we go, Pierre into the pits once more. Sergio Perez staying out another lap. But yeah, things all shaping up really, really nicely at the moment in this GP. Ricciardo and Aitken now up into third and fourth again, but only temporarily. Don't do anything like that, Matt. I thought I was missing something from this Grand Prix, and of course it was not being able to lap Robert Schwartzman left. Much faster down the front straight, and yeah, that'll be both Haas cars now navigated, but again, we've got to pit once more in this race. But even now, these soft tyres hanging up really nicely, and I think, I mean, if we were to pit, we'd still come out in the lead there, as Ricciardo and Aitken now heading into the lane as well. Things looking really, really good. Esteban Ocon jumping out of the way, thank you. Such a disappointment to see Alpine just completely fall away in this career mode, but I guess that's the Mazepin effect. Mazepin went there, and they've just completely fallen to the bottom of the grid. And talk of the devil, thank you very much, Nikita Mazepin. How are you ahead of Esteban Ocon in this race? I'm guessing Mazepin still needs to pit again. Purple through the middle sector, though. Don't think we're quite going to get fastest lap. I think that lap was kind of inflated by the fact, obviously, we got the DRS as well on Sergio Perez, but still a 36.4 is ridiculous in race pace here. Round in the final couple of turns, though, of lap 20, just 6 laps to go here from Baku, and yeah, we're just going to make our last pit stop of the day. They're 23 seconds clear of Pierre Gasly, so we still should re-emerge in the lead of the GP, but I think come race day, we've just been absolutely in control here in the Baku city streets. There goes both Alpines once more, and we might just get re-jumped by one of the Haas cars there, but I mean, at least it gives us someone to wave to late on in the day. Is back into the pit lane we go. Luckily, again, no front wing change. 2.8 second stops a bit sloppy, though, by the team. Where are we going to re-emerge? It's right by Mick Schumacher. But yeah, less than 6 laps to go then here from Baku, still leading the way by a good handful of seconds over Perez on softer, quicker rubber. Surely now, this is basically a done deal in this race. Absolute control, which is something we haven't had at all this year. Is at the inside of Mick. Ooh, ha, ha. Yeah, being brave still late on in the day. Oh, I was going to try and time the run so we could get the DRS of Esteban Ocon there, but he's not giving it to me. I wanted to try and set another fastest lap of the day. Still 3/10 up as we head out through the final couple of corners. So we might still be able to just go fractionally faster there. We're going to, again, obviously completely drain everything that's left in the battery here. This car is just such a well-rounded package. And yeah, with a couple of small Ferrari upgrades coming in over the course of the year, this definitely sets a very loud warning to other teams there. 36.444. New fastest lap of the day, going even faster than we had before. 4 laps to go here from Baku. 10-second gap.
14.7 seconds.
This is very much sort of the racing equivalent of just going like this at Mercedes and Red Bull there. We are here to fight at the moment, and it could be back-to-back wins for the team on 2 very, very different circuits. 4 laps of fuel remaining. So all this whinging about fuel then, Jeff, and turns out, funnily enough, I was right. Oh, we got yellow flags out late on in the day. Nicholas Latifi out of the Grand Prix with just over 2 laps to go there. Heartbreak for the Canadian, but luckily too late on in the GP to give us a safety car, which could have, really messed us up late on. But yeah, it looks like we're still going to be under control. Well, powering down the front straightaway then, about to start the last lap here from Baku. And what a race it's been here today. Not the most eventful on track,
Final lap of the race.
but a dominant display from 212 Motorsport. And for us, as long as we don't do anything stupid now, our first win since all the way back in Bahrain at the start of the year. I said a moment ago, it felt like a very, very long time, that win in the desert. But today, yeah, new Ferrari upgrades have certainly come in clutch there. It has actually pushed us to theoretically the best car on the grid once again. And yeah, very much sort of says to Mercedes and Red Bull, you know, sort of bring it on, boys.
Fuel remaining.
But, you know, still a long way to go in this championship. Round 6 of 16, though. We've really, yeah, smashed into Season 6. You guys are loving it. And I cannot thank you guys enough for all the continued insane support, you know. Like I said, we're almost now at 40,000 subscribers on the channel, which I think a year ago I had about sort of 12, 13k by this point is, yeah, just mind-blowing. So thank you all to everyone for all the love and support here on F1 at 2021. But rounding the final few corners then, here from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We might have only had one win this season, but we have been brutally consistent, which means as we head into this weekend, we were still leading the way, 3 points clear of Max Verstappen and our teammate Pierre Gasly there. But rounding the final corners, it looks like it is going to be another dub for 212 Motorsport then. Not a 1-2. Still waiting for one of those since the start of the year. But Perez is going to come through for P2. Gasly in third ahead of Verstappen there, with Tsunoda right behind him. They might have a drag race down towards the line. But we come through, second win of the year. You love to see it.
Fantastic drive, just fantastic. You deserved that race win.
It's never an easy race here in Azerbaijan. There's drama around every corner, but they've come through to take a brilliant win here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team would be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. Mr. Monaco increases their championship lead. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
Let's move on to the constructors. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. An 8th to 1st there. Like I said on the start, you know, you're as likely to get a podium from from grid row number 4 as you are from the front row. And safe to say, we were on grid row number 4, and the other two on the podium did start. Well, no, Gasly didn't even start in the front row there. Of course, that was Yuki Tsunoda. I'm not too sure what point I was trying to get at there. But we do take home the dub ahead of Sergio Perez, Gasly, and Verstappen there. So 212 Motorsport, Red Bull, 212 Motorsport, Red Bull there. Mercedes, they've got a good car. They just can't seem to put it all together there with Tsunoda in P5. And I mean, I do really wonder what they'd be able to do, you know, if Hamilton had stayed ready for this season. You know, maybe he could have still been a championship threat there. Lando in 6th ahead of Charles Leclerc, Jack Aitken and then Bottas and Ricciardo around at the top 10. Ferrari not able to utilise the upgrades as well as they would have wanted there, with just 6 points from that one. Antonio Giovinazzi, after all those heroics at the start, still fell down to P13 as well by the end of it. And yeah, just Latifi not able to make it to the checkered flag there. Means championship-wise, Perez now ahead of Max Verstappen there. Still just 3 points separating the two Red Bulls and our teammate Gasly, but he is still in second place overall as we've now got a 14-point lead at the top of the championship there. That seventh place, though, does now mean Charles Leclerc is ahead of Jack Aitken as well. They're not too sure there's any other movers further down the order. Constructors-wise, 19 now the gap at the top as well there, so things getting very, very interesting between Red Bull and ourselves. But like we said, there's a long way to go in this championship battle. Thank you all so much for watching this video as well. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon for round 7 of the year. You guys do not want to miss it. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.